So after you were doing the Game of Thrones prequel, like, did you continue on onto like doing like, okay, we're gonna do Game of Thrones? Like, were you reading?
The plan was to do Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Long term, but Les was a nobody. He'd practically never done anything. He had just sort of harassed George, like constantly sending him new artwork. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Until George is like, okay,
we get it. You're an
I'm
artist.
not giving you Game of Thrones because that is like a 10-year commitment,
Yeah.
But I'll give you this, and if you do well with this, then we'll see where it goes. And so, starting with George, we then did Robert Jordan's New Spring. I drew that. We did Richard Knack's Dragonlance. I did the breakdowns on that. Robert Silverberg's Seventh Shrine. We did that as sort of a cross between like a novella and an illustrated book. So Les's talent is somehow finding New York Times bestselling authors and getting them to give him the rights to their books.
Wow.
It is this bizarre. I'm like, dude, that is all you should do.
Yeah,
just do that.
Focus on that.
Focus on that.
You found your niche.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's what we're doing. And then
when did Game of Thrones get picked up by HBO? Like, when was that process during this whole ordeal? Because I know you were working with them before.
It was after I did the second Dunk and Egg book. The Hedge Knights is the Dunk and Egg series.
Okay.
It's so Hedge Knight, and then the Sworn Sword was the second one. Les had actually partnered with Marvel to do that book. It was 2007. And so Marvel got the rights to Hedge Knight, Sworn Sword, and had they just continued a good relationship with George, they would have gotten the rights to the Game of Thrones. Marvel dropped the ball.
Wow.
Marvel dropped the ball. Let the contracts expire.
Yeah.
Right? And then HBO announces Game of Thrones. And then Marvel comes back. And George goes.
Yeah, I can imagine. He's like, I'm sorry, we're doing this, and then the first season kind of came out and took the world by storm.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
So then Amazon actually launched their own comic book publishing imprint, Jet City Comics, using the Hedge Knight and the Sword as their premier launch titles.
Oh wow.
So yeah, my royalty checks on those got pretty good for a while.
I mean, that's huge. If Amazon's behind you and they're putting your energy into selling your books, then you're gonna get some definite attention that way.
Yeah, wasn't bad.
I love it.